Imagine a world where we're all honest with each other. We're all selfless to put someone else's happiness ahead of ours, brave in handling life challenges, and set a positive example along the way. Use our intelligence for the common good and for mutual and foster mutual understanding and respect in everything in all our interactions. People with disabilities are simply honest. They will tell you the unfiltered truth. They will put happiness of the people around them ahead of their own. They're brave and resilient, regardless of their life challenges. Yes, utopia does exist. It is here at Camp K. Anyone who has been here, they know it. What's the ingredients, you ask? There are people that we serve here at Camp K, people with special needs and disabilities, because of who they are as human beings. They make everyone around them want to be better people. If you want utopia in your environment, I would encourage you to invite and bring in people with disabilities and watch the change happening in front of your eyes. They will bring empathy, they will bring compassion, they will bring so much more to your world. I say to you today, if what we perceive today as disability, could that be an undiscovered superpower? I would really like to thank everyone for being here with us today for our virtual live gala from here at Camp K. My name is Mircea Devrishin, and I'm the president and CEO of Camp Kostopoulos, the Kostopoulos Dream Foundation. My story with Camp K starts in 1998 when I was an exchange student and came here into Utah, in the state of Utah. And I worked that summer at Camp Kostopoulos. It was my first time working with people with special needs and disabilities, and that changed my life. It really gave me a different perspective and changed all the goals and objectives I had set to that point for my life. And since then, I have worked here at Camp Kostopoulos and served our community, people that come into Camp K and their families. It has been a very humbling experience, and it was basically a self-discovery experience for me and for everybody else that we have had here at Camp Kostopoulos. I wake up every morning very happy and very excited knowing that I have the opportunity to touch someone's life today. Camp Kostopoulos' story starts in 1929 when a Greek immigrant came into this community, and he wanted to envision a place for people with disabilities to enjoy life freely without obstacles. And Camp Kostopoulos came together in 1950s. Dan Kostopoulos passed away in 1965, and Camp K was named after him in 1967. Since then, Camp K had, for about 3 decades, very humble beginnings. The huge growth of Camp K in regards to facilities that we have here at Camp K and programs that we serve and population reach happened in the last decade, in the last 10 years. I am very proud to be part of it and very excited for the future here at Camp K. As a charity, we need your help. This event here today is meant to inspire and to, bring some light into what Camp K is and what we do here at Camp K. We strive to bring life changes into the experiences, into the lives of those we serve, and create memories to last a lifetime. This pandemic has been very difficult and very hard for all of us, and has been very hard for our participants, people with special needs and disabilities, and their families. Therefore, we ask you, with all the challenges and the headwinds ahead of us, to consider Camp K in your giving and donate, large or small. Get your employer to support Camp K. Come here for service projects, and help us continue this dream, this beautiful dream that is Camp K. We can't do it alone, but we can absolutely do it together. All donation that come to Camp K will help us maintain everything that we have here on site at Camp K and provide scholarships for the participants that we serve so they can stretch their imagination and live as normal lives as possible and help them become as independent as they can in their regular lives. I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone part of the Camp K ecosystem, whether it's participants, their families, our staff, all the generous supporters and volunteers that come into Camp K, and some of our major sponsors. Joe and Kathleen Sorensen Foundation. Joe and Kathleen Sorensen have been a part of Camp K for many years now, and they helped us build beautiful facilities here on campus for our participants to enjoy and provide scholarships for our participants. Very much the same, George Ass and Dolores Dor Eccles Foundation have done the same for us. They've been a supporter at Camp K ever since I've been here. And the same with Ray and Ty Norda Foundation. Now, Digital Bytes is the people that are helping us make this happen today. They've been part of Camp K for many years now, and they basically help us bring the magic of Camp K to you. They've been working on putting together many, many stories from here at Camp K and give light into what Camp K is all about. They're wonderful, and they've donated many of their service to Camp K, and they're here with us today making this event happen live for you to watch. Thank you so much. Diamond sponsors, we got WCF Insurance, Ivory Homes Foundation, Miller Family Philanthropy, Jesse and Marilyn Peck Foundation, South Davis Community Hospital Legacy Fund, Wheeler Family Foundation, Bruce and Cecilia Pedersen Foundation Trust, Beasley Family Foundation, gold sponsors, Kern McConkey, silver sponsors, Zions Bank, Summit Technology, and Ruth's Diner. Let's get this event going. I'm very excited for our first guest, but before we invite him on, let's watch a short video from this summer.
Summer 2021, summer to remember. After the craziness of 2020, we were able to get back into the programs. We brought a lot of smile, we brought a lot of energy back.
It's been good to kind of get out. I know we've still had to have masks on, and so it hasn't looked quite exactly the same as it normally would, but it's still been, I think, very good for everyone to kind of get out.
It's been great. I loved this summer. It's been super fun to hang out with all the campers.
Camp K is fun. It's exciting, has fun stuff.
This place is actually kind of really fun. You have swimming up here, horses.
I love Camp K, and this week we did fishing. We also went swimming. It was really fun.
And now today we're doing ukuleles. Hooray!
Here at Camp K, I really enjoy swimming.
Learning about the horses. And like, I haven't ridden on all of them, but I ridden on like 3 of them.
We bring activities to action.
I love being outdoors, and I like the people around me.
I love it here at Camp K because it is very important to me to have friends that mean a lot to me.
I like making new friends, like Sam, Bill.
Gregory has loved being able to come to Camp K this summer. It gets long days when he's just with a caregiver every day and doesn't get to be with a group of kids. He misses school terribly.
During the summer, I have to have something to do.
Some of the benefits that Will gets from Camp K is a lot of actually his sensory needs are really met from Camp K. I noticed that every time that Will comes home, he is more calm, he's happier.
I think it benefits them in the sense that it allows them the opportunity to socialize with peers and to get to gain certain empathy skills and stuff that they wouldn't necessarily be able to get if they were staying at home.
It's pretty cool. There's lots of these cool counselors.
I like the staff because they treat us nice. They give us like snacks or something. So I actually like having them here with me.
I know the counselors keep me safe, and that's what's so great about them.
The spirit in Camp K, I love it all.
We hope that people get inspired to support Camp K, as we are a charity, and we want people to believe in us and give us their support and trust so we can see this dream of diversity inclusion, of bringing people of all abilities into the mainstream and give them the opportunity to fully experience life. So excited to have our first guest here with us today, a very good friend of mine that we meet a lot in D.C. We met a lot in D.C., but also here at CAMK. This is not his first time. U.S. Congressman Chris Stewart.
It's not my first time, but it's been too long. As I drove in today, I thought, oh my gosh, what a magnificent place. You know, we kind of drove up around. We saw the horse stables, the trails, the lodge here. This is a special place, and thank you for what you do and to your staff. God bless you guys, because in a world where too many people wonder, am I helping? Am I making things worse, or am I making things better? And believe me, in politics, you have to ask yourself that all the time. But you guys don't ever have to ask yourself that. You know you're making the world a better place. You watch that video, you know, you can't watch the expression on these kids' face and these young people and whoever your campers, your participants might be. It's so good to have a place like this. And honestly, I don't know any place like this anywhere else in the country. And I've been around a little bit and been involved in this area for a while, and truly unique. Honor to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very kind words. I have some questions for you, and then certainly, we can go from here, whatever you feel like sharing. It has been too long. I'm very excited to have you back. And so it happens. We got the first snow here at CAMK this year, right?
It's still beautiful, though.
It is.
I mean, with the trees, it's stunning. And before you get into your questions, I got to make one more comment if I could, and that is I want to emphasize what you said in your opening comments. I think most people, I don't know that everyone, but most people have someone that they know or love, someone who's touched their life, who has disabilities in some way. I have a dear friend. He actually works for me in my congressional office. I've known him for 35 or 40 years. He's from Texas. We call him Texas Greg. He comes in once a week and does our shredding and a couple things like that. He loves coming to work, but not as much as we love having him come to work. I mean, he just brightens up the office, and it's hard for him to get around. He's severely handicapped physically. He has some emotional challenge or mental challenges. But so it's hard for him to get from his, where he lives to the office. It's hard, things that you and I take for granted. It's a real challenge for him. But like I say, we love having him come in. And I look at him and I just think what you said, these individuals bless our lives. They make our lives better. They make them happier. And what you guys do here is so important to them. I mean, where else do they get to go ride horses? Where else do they get to go do a ropes course? I mean, I don't know any place they could go do that. And you and your counselors and the people who do that, again, you're doing something really unique.
Thank you. It really means a lot. It is true. And I really hope all employers out there, because we're struggling, try and get out of the pandemic, and we're all struggling to be empathetic and understand each other's concerns and life challenges. And people with disabilities, they have that, uniqueness about them that you want to be a better person around them.
And, we are all dealing with the pandemic. Everyone is. I mean, we voluntarily shut down a global economy. Tens of millions of jobs lost. We put so many things on hold. But you know what? These people's lives can't go on hold. And I'll use this friend of mine, Greg, as an example. I mean, in the assisted living center that he lives at, he couldn't leave there and people couldn't come visit him. He was completely isolated for more than a year.
Yes.
Now, and again, that affected all of us to some degree, but not most of us like that, where we literally couldn't leave our one room. And then think about, while we put the economy and these other concerns on hold, and it made it harder, I think. I don't know this, but I imagine it made it harder for you to raise the money that you need to be effective.
It has been very difficult because CAMK does rely on donations and, companies sponsoring events. You couldn't do in-person events. You didn't really have an opportunity to give companies a reason to give you. So it has been very difficult for us. But we learned resilience from them, and we wanted to keep it open. And to your point, with sadness in my heart, I can tell you that the older population that comes into CAMK in their 60s and 70s and 80s, they haven't really come back yet. Yeah. The younger people have, but the older haven't, because they probably still don't feel safe. So it's still tragic.
Yeah, and I understand that, and their concerns are different. If you're older, there's obviously this virus has a different effect versus if you're 20 than if you're 80. But the point is still this:
Right.
people's lives don't go on hold forever,
Right.
and for some of us, the contributions or the generosity, we still feel that way. We still want to help, and we need to help because what you're trying to do has got to go forward. We've got to be able to give these kids experience. We've got to be able to bring kids from around the country like you've done,
Yes.
and give them that same experience. Because, like I said, what you've done here, I don't know anywhere else that is capable of doing that. And I'm hoping that people will, be generous and open to trying to help this great place.
Awesome. So the simple question, would you kind of like allude a little bit about Camp K, but how would you describe Camp K in your own words, from facilities to leadership to programs to everything we do here?
Well, I've already kind of said that. I mean, it's someplace special. It's unique. As soon as you drive in, you go, okay, a couple things. One, the impression is this is a very well-run organization. It's neat. It's well-maintained. It's very professional. And you realize, okay, this is a professional and an organization that is obviously very, very careful with their money, and they spend it in the right places, and they spend it towards facilities that are very important. Then you look at the surroundings. I mean, we're up here in this Immigration Canyon. I mean, look at the trees and leaves outside in the snow-capped mountains. That's pretty cool.
It's beautiful.
And the ability and what that kind of gives some kids, especially some kids who maybe don't get up in nature and up in the mountains like that, like they may in other places. And then you meet the staff, people like yourself, your other administrators, the other, those who work with the participants, with the campers. And you realize, again, this is a great place, something that's, I'll say it probably for the third time, it's truly unique.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. You kind of already alluded a little bit about our population, that they probably have had it very, very hard. Everybody had it, but maybe they had it a little harder. What's your message to them?
Yeah, for those who've had those challenges, and all of us have in one fashion or another, right? I mean, the pandemic has affected virtually everyone in the world, whether you've lost someone that you love and care about, whether you yourself have been impacted. I know many people who were very sick for a long period of time, to people like my friend Greg, who have been, in forced isolation for a long, long time, people who've lost employment, et cetera, et cetera. So what I would say to those people, the participants, the campers, the people who want to come enjoy this, I would remind them, hey, you're not alone. You're not the only one who's had these challenges, and there's people who still care about it. There's people who still want to help you. And it's not just Camp K. There's other people who want to help. I mean, my message would be to everyone who's been impacted by this, if we work together, we're far stronger. If we support each other, we're far stronger. If we look for people who we know feel alone, people who maybe don't have the family or the support around them, what can we do to help those folks? I think that's the first thing I would say is, let's not forget anyone. I was a member of the military, and one of our ethos is we leave no man behind. And I think this is an example where we'd want to take that approach. Let's not forget anyone. Let's not leave anyone behind. Let's reach out to
Starts in our neighborhood,
Yep.
on our street, our cities,
Yep.
communities.
All of us know someone who could use a hand.
Thank you so much. We still have, I briefly told you before we went live, that Camp K reinvented program. We stayed open, COVID-free. We kept everyone safe at Camp K. We still face headwinds. Do you have any ideas for us? How can we raise more awareness for our mission, for our population, for programs in the work we do here on a national level?
Yeah, I imagine that's a frustration for you. It probably is for most organizations, and many like yourself who rely on the generosity and the good people who just look and say, I want to help. But it's not like, you don't have $1 billion foundation like some organizations do, and it would be nice if you did. But no, you've got to do kind of like many of us do. I was a businessman. I had to fight for my business every single day, and I imagine you feel the same way. I don't know that I'm in a position to give you advice on how to do that, and it'd probably be bad advice if I did, so I'm not sure that it'd be smart for me to say anything. But I think one of the beginning points, at least, is, what we're doing today. Have a conversation about it. Use social media, use the media, use, friends and neighbors, use word of mouth, use anything you can to kind of get the word out. Hey, this is who we are. This is what we do. This is why it's good. This is why it's cool. And will you help us, or will someone else that you know maybe be willing to help us? And that's why, again, we're happy to be here, happy to try to support that effort.
I appreciate that very much. I think it really does. People, they are on social media. They probably watch us, see us, but, liking our contact, sharing our contact, probably that's really minimum help that people can make without having to, cost them anything, and they can help us spread the word.
Yeah, and when we look at the video and you look at the faces of the people who get to enjoy Camp K, for most of us, we can't spend our lives or our day working with folks like that. But you know what I can do, or what we can do? We can help you. We can help other people. When we go downtown and we see people who are struggling with homelessness, I can't help every one of them myself, but I can help the organizations that will help those folks. And none of us can solve every problem, but all of us can help solve some problems.
We can.
Yep. Yep.
Beautiful message. You alluded yourself. We do live in a world that it is not made for people with disabilities. It's very hard for them to get around. However, we're still a little bit luckier. I have traveled the world. We hire people from all parts of the world, and I go and interview them and bring them into Utah. And we are still a little bit better off than most other countries of the world. If they would be to travel internationally, then it would be very difficult. Yeah. But we can still improve. What can we do to make the world better for people with disabilities?
Well, before I address that, and again, I'm probably not going to say anything that you're going to go, wow, I never thought of that, because obviously you and others have. But I maybe emphasize what you said, and that is, as challenging as this is in the United States, we're so blessed. One of the great benefits and things that I've been able to do as a member of Congress, especially on the House Intelligence Committee, where we have responsibilities all over the world, is to travel all over the world. Literally all over the world, from China to Europe to Asia to Moscow to throughout Africa. And a couple of memories that I'll never forget. One of them is, I believe we were in Algeria, but I'm not certain, but it was in Africa, it doesn't matter. But we're going to this facility, and we're not in the middle of the city. We're in a rural part of Africa where, small villages, but they're miles apart and not much between them. And watching, coming across someone alongside the road who had, for whatever reason, I don't know, but they didn't have their legs from about the calf or the thighs down. And they're literally out there in the middle of nowhere walking on their hands. He kind of had these pads that he used, and he's using his hands. There's millions of people around the world who are living in conditions that's hard for us to imagine. Now, I'm not in any way minimizing, people who have physical disabilities here, but we also should recognize that and be grateful that we do have some infrastructure and support. And society has said, I think, by and large, we're going to help these people. We're going to do what we can to help them. And I'm very grateful for that, because it's a generosity of good people. And in some cases, the federal government or state government stepping into helping some of those folks. Now, how do we make it better? I think part of it is being sensitive to them and realizing, this thing may be hard for them, and how can I help? Whether it's entering a facility that may not be ADA compliant, and so how do I help them with that without embarrassing or putting them on the spot? And that's sometimes hard to know, what that line is. To how can I give them an experience that I take for granted, but they don't ever get to do. Like, if you've been to a ropes course in corporate training, that's a lot of fun. Let's give them that kind of chance as well. I think, those little things can make a difference.
So you met Christian here. I had a discussion video interview with him recently, and just a simple thing, just kind of goes exactly to what you just said in regards to facilities being ADA accessible. He said he can't go to other children's homes to play because those homes are not accessible to him. Children have to come to his home. It's so true. Things that we take for granted, that we can't even, comprehend the life of these individuals that, have so much to give and maybe don't have the opportunity to participate all the time. So, you mentioned a foreign country, the experience you have. Now we just pull out our military from Middle East, and, we can't even comprehend. Every country has people with disabilities. We can't even comprehend what the opportunities for those people are going to be next. It's very hard. The world is harsh we should always think of what we can do to make somebody else's life better. I can't thank you enough for being here with us today. I know how busy your schedule is, but do you have a final message from here at CAMK?
Well, I've actually kind of thought about, what could I say in closing that would matter, and I'm not sure that I have the answer to that. I would just maybe reemphasize what we've already said. And we've spent a bit of time talking about the challenges that people have. The people that I've had in my life who experience disabilities for whatever the cause or the source may be, they have blessed my life far more than anything I will ever done for them. I owe them. They don't owe me. And I think that's one of the magic of this relationship where you're around these individuals, whoever they are, whatever they may be. It is an incredible blessing in my life. And they remind me once again, life is good. And there's so much good that we can do in the world. And it doesn't take a lot of effort sometimes. Just a little bit of money, a little bit of time, a little bit of consideration can really make a difference to people. So thank you and your staff and all the people who work with you. Thanks for the people who donate to you, who are making a difference.
And then you get so much more back.
That's right.
Well, it is a privilege to have you back with us here at CAMK. We're very grateful for everything you do for, our state of Utah out in D.C. I can only imagine what you've been through as well out there for the last 20 months or so since this pandemic started. It has been difficult for us, but we're very proud to stay open, to go strong. We got a lot of projects, construction projects here at CAMK to improve our facilities, improve the programs, and of course, we're very hopeful that we can put this pandemic behind us and go strong from here.
We will.
Thank you so much from all of us at CAMK. And now we're going to go to the next segment, and that is talking to Christian, our CAMK ambassador. But before we bring him on set, let's watch a video.
When he was first born, he wasn't a typical baby experience, child experience, and ended up, in a space where I repetitively went back to the doctor again and again, like something's not right. We finally, got some answers. And he went through 15 years of back surgeries twice a year and other surgeries, and it was just round-the-clock care. We've looked to always have his best interest, but it's difficult. It's really, really difficult.
The CAMK Ambassador Award is meant to inspire people to become better self, and then through that process to inspire those around them. And Christian has done that. Christian is an amazing human being that has shown us how to be fearless in life and how to live.
I would say my favorite thing or things about camp would be have the ability to swim and the ability to move around and do things that I can get out of my chair that I would not normally be able to do.
This is like life and oxygen to Christian. It's opportunities that he has that with all of our best energy, we're not able to provide for him what CAMK does. We often get emotional about of how much he loves it here and how much he's humanized, and just given these opportunities, he just doesn't have other places.
It's just been a safe place for Christian to be.
So safe.
Christian is literally CAMK. He represents and reflects the values that we have at CAMK in regards to understanding, compassion, grit, determination, love, trying to make every other participant's experience at CAMK better while enjoying their time here at CAMK.
I actually remember last year I picked him up from camp and Kai came out and said, hey, and handed me a letter. And driving Christian home that day and seeing this like smile that would not come off of his face, he's being seen. And for us as parents, it feels so validating. Like his goodness, his beauty as a human is being seen and recognized. But also I think he's just an example of the beauty of all the other people that are here, that they're seen, they're noticed, and to have that kind of validation to your humanness is one of the like core beauties of life.
This is a camp for all people of all abilities and all different types of disorders, that there are no limits to how much fun you can have.
Camp K has grown to become an industry leader and an innovator. At Camp K, we want to unleash, uncover, discover, and ignite our participants' personalities and greatest abilities. When life challenges become limitations, we want to provide experiences that inspires our participants to achieve greatness. And a true example of that greatness is Christian, our Camp K ambassador for this year, and I am very honored to have him here with us today, and his parents, Elizabeth and Mark. Welcome to Camp K.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So we have an award here for you today, and we're just so humble and honored. The purpose for Camp K, it's you. You're making me very emotional now. So, you guys take the turn and say whatever it is that you want to say in regards to this beautiful moment we have here with you at Camp K.
I would say that here at Camp K has been a very fun and lifelong thing that I have enjoyed for a long time, and this has been something that has made me so happy that I could be here for as long as I could.
Well, I got to know you, and you've been a part of Camp K, and I know that this summer you really took advantage at Camp K. How many weeks have you been here with us this summer?
I would say probably about 5 years.
I think you came almost every single week. I think
Yeah.
you missed 2 weeks
He
where we
came
had
every
some
single
other
week
family
here at Camp
yeah.
K. Well,
yeah.
Tell me, you have a memory from this summer maybe that just stands out to you?
I think one of the memories that would stand out is being able to stay overnight at Camp K and having fun doing themed parties and just spending a whole bunch of time here with the staff and other campers that I've made friends with.
So you told me the story of you coming here for the first time and your parents, were nervous and you were nervous, and then on Friday when you had to go home, you weren't really looking forward to it.
No.
He cried the whole way home. He did not want to come home. He wanted to stay at this home.
So how do you feel today, knowing that we're here for you? We got an award that you take home. How do you feel today?
I would say very, very thoughtful and very happy that you guys put all this work in for me.
Thank you. Mom, how do you feel today?
Oh, it's interesting as I heard you talking with Congressman, I kept getting chills, and I think I wish I could convey, it's not just words, this place really has something special. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and it is worth any investment of time or resources to put into a place like this, because it delivers, it's creating experiences that we just simply don't have on our own, but it is such a beautiful place.
Thank you so much. But how do you feel as a mom knowing that your son is just really so loved and appreciated and truly a role model for not just our staff, but other campers? Truly he is. I mean, he is an inspiration. And what we're learning here at Camp K is that this is probably universal to human beings. If somebody believes in you, you can achieve greatness.
Yeah, I actually think that's a really good way to wrap up exactly what I think he connects to when he's here. And I think, you know, we try to reflect that, but there's something here when he has access to everything and experiences, and I said it on the video, just so humanized, but everybody's on equal footing. And I think Christian innately is just kind of a hype man. He likes to connect to people, so this place gives him the forum to really shine and really also receive that from others, which is so appreciated.
Dad?
Yeah, I think it's interesting to watch Christian flourish here. And when he comes home, it carries home to him. It's really obvious when any of us look at Christian, you can see visually his vulnerabilities, right? His legs don't work. His arm doesn't work as well as other people's. We don't always see each other's vulnerabilities as well. And I think that's the gift of, as you said earlier, the gift of disability is that we can see visually the vulnerabilities that other people have, and it connects us empathically to each other and to him. It's a great gift to have. And Camp K brings all that together with a group of people who want to be here and who find that they can do things that they could not otherwise do. And it takes really good care of their vulnerabilities. And not everywhere in our world takes really good care of them and cares that well for them. And so we're so grateful for that.
Very, very beautiful words, and I can't thank you enough for being here with us today. Congratulations. You make us very proud, and I really look forward to working with you in the years to come so you can be a true ambassador for around the world for people with disabilities and show them what we can do, not what we can't do. Any final words?
Well, we pretty much summed it up, as well as my parents, and yeah, it's basically, for me, a dream come true to have somewhere where I can just have people that I can talk to and have a lot of fun with.
Thank you so much, Christian. Thank you so much, Dad and Mom. We're very proud of you, and we can't thank you enough. So now we're going to move to the next segment. And just yesterday, we had the honor and the privilege of hosting our First Lady of Utah at Camp Costopolis. And in my 20-plus year experience, she is the First Lady of Utah coming to Camp K, and we had a tremendous visit, and we really look forward to partnering with her in the years to come to take the mission at Camp K forward. And before we move into the next segment, let's play the video. I am so excited to have you with us today, and very happy that, hopefully we can build a long-term lasting partnership with you, and this is just the beginning of something beautiful. And most of our participants, people with special needs and disabilities and their families and donors and supporters and volunteers, maybe some of them had the opportunity to get to know you before. Most of them probably haven't, and I'm really excited for them to get to meet you. So if you don't mind introducing yourself.
Yeah, I'm Abby Cox. I'm the First Lady of Utah. Been in this role for about 9 months now. And my big focus, one of the big focus areas for our Show Up initiative is showing up for people with all abilities and making sure that they have the resources that they need, and really creating that empathy with people with and without disabilities coming together. So it's beautiful. We teach each other amazing things, and Camp K is one of those places where this is happening.
I just really loved every word, because that's basically speak to us. When we speak about all abilities and inclusion, you know, most people obviously want to be receptive, but I really feel like you really understand it through your experiences. What do you do for fun?
Well, as you could tell, horses. I love to ride horses. So excited about the equestrian program here. I think there's a real connection between animals and horses. Animals and people, especially horses. I grew up riding horses. I grew up having that experience. So, you know, riding horses is what I do for fun. I love to run. I have 4 children, so obviously that's a big part of what I do as well.
We love the horses at Camp K. We call them our most expensive employees. They are phenomenal, and our participants have a magic connection with them, no question. What is your definition of success?
My definition as it relates to my work is definitely making sure that every child in the state of Utah has a sense of love and belonging. Every child should have a place where they feel comfortable. Every child should have a place where they feel that they belong and that they feel accepted and they feel included. So my definition of success is making sure that every child in this state has that sense of belonging.
That is a beautiful message. We live in a global world and people move around, and that sense of belonging is what makes us feel accepted as human beings. I just love that message. Your first time at Camp K, we just finished a tour, and you know, we're trying to build an environment here, like you said, for inclusion, for diversity, for people to feel like, you know, Camp K is home away from home for them. What are your first impressions?
Well, I'm completely blown away by what you're doing here, by the program, by the facilities, obviously by the horses. I think what you're doing here, I hope we can see replicated in more places. That, you know, I didn't raise children with a disability or with different physical or intellectual challenges, but I've met so many parents who have, and the emotional strain on them and the physical strain and everything that they endure just trying to provide and be emotionally connected to that child, it's beautiful, but it can be overwhelming at times. And I think what I'm seeing here is an opportunity for parents to have a little respite, to have a time where their child can feel, you know, for lack of a better word, just like a regular kid. And I think, you know, isn't that what we all want for our kids, is to have that opportunity? And it's so rare for kids who struggle with these kinds of challenges, and for parents of these children. And so I think for me, what I'm seeing is a place where they can feel loved, where they can feel included, but that also parents can have that opportunity to feel like their child is going to have this really incredible experience, and they can have that respite as well.
Beautiful words. You know, every parent wants their child to be successful and independent. And it is hard for parents of children with disabilities when obviously you got a child that was just born, and then the doctor said, you know, your child has this particular disorder, and then good luck, you go on to a world that is not built for him. So Camp K is that place, and actually I used those exact words that you said into our staff training, because our staff, they come here from May to August, and it is hard. It's a fun environment. It's a beautiful, exhilarating, and life-changing experience, but at times it could be hard. And we tell them, you take care of, you know, this individuals for 10 weeks, and then you go home. But their parents take care of them 24/7 for the rest of their life. And, you know, that sits with them and they understand it. So beautiful message. Thank you so much for saying that. At Camp K, we will never tire to provide a safe oasis for our participants and their families throughout the COVID-19 pandemic and beyond. We will be here when the pandemic will end to continue to serve our community and to create life-changing opportunities and for our participants and memories to last a lifetime. Very similar to that, WCF Insurance does the same thing for all the employees of all the corporations and companies that they work with. Very similar missions. It's about supporting someone else. And I could not be more grateful for the support we have from the WCF Insurance over time here at Camp K. And because of their continued support for what we do here in this community, they are the recipient of our Children's Humanitarian Award for this year. And I have here with us today Ray Pickup, who's the president and CEO of WCF, and Mike Willard, who's the Chief Investment Officer. And we have a video prepared for him. But maybe before we go into the video, maybe each of you want to just say some remarks in regards to you being with us today.
Okay, well, thank you, Mircea, for this wonderful recognition of our company. We are so honored to receive it. I feel like you're the ones that we should honor and recognize, though. You and your staff here at Camp K, you do wonderful work and bless the lives of so many people. And thank you. Thank you for everything you do. We are so proud as a company to be associated with Camp K, and we want to encourage other companies and individuals that have the resources, that can share their resources with Camp K. It costs money to run a camp like this. And I know that's a big part of your job, just to keep it going. And so I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you and encourage others to get involved. We have a grandson, a 5-year-old grandson. His name is Theo, and Theo lives in Manhattan on the Upper West Side. Theo is a child with Down syndrome. And I'm looking forward to Theo coming here. Theo comes and spends time with us each summer, sometimes in the winter too. About 4 years ago, when Theo was just 1, my wife and I, Janet, were here at a concert that you had. And there was this beautiful child, little boy, probably 11 or 12, with Down syndrome. And we were thinking about our family and the impact that Theo had on our family. And watching this boy up during the concert, he was dancing and just seeing the joy and happiness in him was really kind of, at that time, was refreshing for me and inspiring, and I could see how much he liked it here. And a child like that, a child that is a child with Down syndrome, has a big impact on a family's life. He creates a lot of work for parents, but he's also such a blessing to our family, to his sibling and to his cousins and aunts and uncles. And I'm really looking forward to him being here, and I'm hoping that we can get him here this summer. So thank you, Mircea.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that personal story with us here today, and we really we can't wait to have him here with us and build some memories and come home back to you and say, hey, Grandpa, I had a wonderful day, and here's what I did today at Camp K.
He loves horses.
All right.
So I think he'll really like it here.
All right. Mike, before we go to you, if it's okay with you guys, we prepare a video for you. Let's watch this video, and then we go to Mike. WCF has absolutely been a huge fan and contributor here at Camp Costopolis through their belief that regardless of your challenges in life, you should go forward and have the support you need. Their mission and Camp K's mission is much of the same. Accidents happen in life, and regardless, you have to overcome and move forward.
We are so grateful for the opportunity of being associated with Camp Costopolis. We appreciate the wonderful work that they're doing at Camp Costopolis for children and adults with disabilities. We recognize the great help that is to these individuals, the great blessing it is to these individuals, and the wonderful help it is to their families and other caregivers.
My daughter Sarah has been participating in Camp K, I don't know, probably about 15 years or so. She loves Camp K. She loves being able to do the community-based activities. In prior summers, pre-COVID, she's able to do sleepover camps at camp and trip camps. And it's made a real difference in her life. Through Camp K, she has developed a sense of independence in a very safe environment from us, where she's able to be cared for, made sure she's safe, but do activities without her family, with people who she considers her friends.
This has been a great benefit to our company to partner with Camp K. They serve a very, very important need in our community. There are marvelous opportunities at Camp K for our employees and people in the community, for other corporations to get involved with Camp K. They are doing a great job, but they need help. They need financial resources as well as other kind of resources to run such an important facility as they do and fill such an important need in our community. I would really encourage other companies to make Camp K a recipient of that giving.
When WCF chooses to support Camp K, it means a lot to me, on a personal level, because my daughter is there. But as an employee, I value the company WCF. I'm incredibly proud because we support great causes in the community like Camp K. We give employees like myself opportunities during our workday to volunteer. We're strongly encouraged. And as employees, after you serve in these groups and help out, you feel better. There's real benefits to the company in doing these community donations, services. It helps the culture of the company. It reaffirms saying, hey, we want to do the right thing. And we're exemplifying that by our charitable actions, by our services.
We at WCF, we like to tell our employees and remind them that we're in the people business. We're in the business of taking care of people. It's a very similar mission to the mission of Camp K. They're in the people business too. They take care of people. They help create for individuals with disabilities opportunities to do things that they could never otherwise do.
Thank you, WCF, and we would like to thank everybody that believes in Camp K, supports Camp K, and continually trying to see us succeed here in this community. Mike, your turn. Congratulations. I'm so excited to have you be our recipient of the Children's Humanitarian Award this year.
We are so humbled and honored as a company. And I echo what Ray said. It's really thank you to Camp K, everything you do. And I have it extra personal. You saw in the video Sarah doing the various activities. She loves Camp K. She looks forward to when the email comes. She asked my wife, the email comes so I can sign up for activities last night. She was here last night doing the horses. In October, they're doing horses on Wednesday. And she got to ride Diego. They had dinner here. And just the social aspects, the independence, I reiterate that Camp K gives her. I'm lucky. I see the benefit it gives the families. Echoes Christian's family, same type thing. And that's across all the families served by Camp K. But as a company, too, it's just doing good in the community. Camp K is phenomenal. You do an incredible job, in my opinion, of hiring counselors. They all care for these kids and love them. I see it. I see how they interact with my daughter. Camp K is special in my heart, and thank you so much. And we are humbled that you thought of us in this way.
Thank you so much, and I really, truly, look forward to continually working with you and improve the opportunities for people of all abilities in our community through our partnership. Thank you. Very special for me. And now let's move to the next segment. And this pandemic has been very difficult for everyone. We have stayed open here at Camp Costopolis, and we put together a short video to capture, some pandemic testimonials from our participants, from our staff, and from their families. Let's play the video.
I mean, 2020 has been one of those years where you're not going to forget about, and I prefer not to elaborate on it too much, but it hasn't been a good year.
It was terrible. When the pandemic hit, no one could not leave, no one could not go to school, and that really upset me because I could not finish my junior year.
Since the pandemic started, I've had couldn't go anywhere very well because you have to be socially distanced, which is hard.
It's hard for parents even to know what to do sometimes with their kids with COVID. And so having them just come to like an outdoor paradise basically for a whole week, they are so excited and they love it. They're like begging their parents in the morning to hurry up so they can get here, and the parents tell us, and it's just like the best feeling when we hear that. So.
It's great to get away from the pandemic and have something to do, because as we all know, during the pandemic we were all suffering and having a lot of just boredom and stuff like that. We all went through hard times during this pandemic, and it's great to get out of that and actually have something to do this summer.
Everybody got affected one way or another with this pandemic, so part of our mission here is to make sure that we are here to open up for the community, give them the friendship that they are all looking for, giving the opportunity to be outdoor again, living the life they had before the pandemic.
Yeah, the past year and a half or so has been interesting to say the least. It's definitely been rough to kind of revamp all of our programs to make it to where we could do it safely. Not the same camp that we always provide, but I'm glad that we've been able to do what we have been able to do to provide something for our participants.
It's been good to kind of get out. I know we've still had to have masks on, and so it hasn't looked quite exactly the same as it normally would, but it's still been, I think, very good for everyone to kind of get out. I know a lot of our participants, especially with being at-risk populations, it's been very hard this last year, and so I think being able to come and do something relatively normal with peers and with staff has been very good, not only just for our participants, but for our staff, our sweet staff, I think for everyone.
It's been so awesome to get outside. I've been stuck in my house just like everybody else, and it's so nice to be able to get outside and enjoy this super warm weather that we've been having and just have a little bit of space to ourselves outside and enjoy nature and stuff. It's awesome.
Everyone's been cooped up with COVID, and so being able to come to a camp and just like let go and just kind of forget about all that had happened, and being able to just relax and enjoy being outside. And it's such good, therapy for everyone to be outside.
Me, myself, also cooped up, and these kids, I can tell they also enjoy being around other kids and getting to have a fun time, to have a good summer, a normal summer again after last year.
There's been a lot of negativity in the past year and a half, and we try to keep it positive and fun here, and I think that it really rubs off on the campers and staff as well.
So coming out of the pandemic for all of us here at Camp K, it's been a learning opportunity. We learned a lot. We have improved a lot. We noticed that people are more caring and more loving, and they want to support each other.
We are very grateful and thankful to say that we have stayed completely safe of COVID, 0 transmissions at Camp K 18 months into the pandemic. We have provided tremendous opportunities for those that came into Camp K, took advantage of our programs.
The communication that came from Camp K of all the care and all the efforts they were going through to make this a safe place did a lot for me. And I think also because we had a relationship with Camp K, I knew that it was legit. I knew that the cautions, the care, the precautions they took were real, and they are. And it actually feels like the safest place to be.
Go big on meaning. Inspire employees with a vision, set challenging goals, and pump up their confidence so they believe they can win. And this is exactly what John Miller is doing to his company, and many, many wonderful other people are doing the same in their own environments. I am very proud and humble and excited to say that our Community Service Award this year goes to Mark Miller Toyota and my dear friend John Miller. Before we have him here with us today, but before we talk to John, let's watch a short video we put together for John. This year, our Community Service Award is going to go to Mark Miller Toyota. They consistently, throughout the years, been great supporters at CAMK, whether it comes to supporting our fundraising events or, supporting us into bringing our participants into their home and providing them with a Thanksgiving experience or a Christmas experience to create that meaningful community partnership that we see in our community.
Well, Camp Kid's always kind of been a special part of my heart. I was on the board a number of years ago and chaired the board, volunteered up at the camp. It's just a great group of amazing people. I love Camp K just for the opportunity that they have to be people, to have great opportunities, learn a lot, have great support, and also a great community around them of people very similar to themselves, where I don't think they feel like they're disadvantaged or disabled. They can just be people.
He brought his expertise and due diligence into making sure that Camp K contributes into our community and achieves its full potential. And he has been a tremendous friend to Camp K. Whenever we need any help or support, we just, reach out to John, and he's always there for us.
It just gives so many people such a great opportunity to live amazing lives. It really shows that they have unbelievable abilities, and we want to just give them the ability to enjoy what a lot of us take for granted.
We're very grateful to the Miller family for what they've done for Camp K and their continued support. We just can't thank them enough for always believing in us and always supporting Camp K, even throughout this harsh pandemic, to be a contributor and supporter. We want more Johns at Camp K in our ecosystem. We just don't have enough. Thank you so much. Very proud, very humble. You have always been there for Camp K. And I do have to add one more thing. You do serve on many boards, and you will continue to. And, there's just not enough Johns out there to serve on everybody's board. But there's board members, and then there's board members, and then there's board chairs, and then there's board chairs. And you certainly have been one of the best board chairs I've seen in my 20 plus years at Camp K. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you. What an honor. It's just, I forget how much I missed this place, not being up here in a little while, and just walking in the door and just pulling into the parking lot. It's such a special place you have up here. And it's been a hard part for us with COVID is not being able to, host you guys and do some of these community type events. And so we're so looking forward to be able to kind of get back out there and kind of roll our sleeves up and jump in with the work. The handful of times I was able to really come up and volunteer with camp. And it's just such a special place, and you just leave feeling amazing with just the amazing people up here.
We have an opening on the board. Anytime you want to come and join us back, just know that the door is always open for you. You really have truly helped us in a critical time. You chaired the board when Camp K was going through a transition, and working with you has been a pleasure. And then ever since then, you were always there for us. Hey, we have a big fleet of vehicles, and we need to retire something. You always helped us out. We need to buy something new. You helped us out. Continually supporting and donating and hosting events for us. And it just means a lot. What can we all do to make the lives of people with disabilities better?
Just see them and invite them, and just know that they, everyone has challenges, and so some are more apparent than others, just like one of the earlier speakers said. And, they're people. and so you just treat them like people. And so it was fun. I remember we went to a Jazz game, and rooting up, for the Jazz, and it's all the same. It's just, new friends, and just treat them that way. And so there shouldn't be the barriers sometimes to that there are. As you said, we're all people, and we should all just love and care for each other.
We haven't, to your point, it is tragic. We haven't been able to have in-person events. We haven't done our concerts. We haven't done our gala or golf tournament where you're always there with us and Mark Miller employees, and they have fun with us. We really can't wait to go back to that and have you be a part of it. And just please know that our family is your family, and we're so grateful for your family and for you and for Andrea to support CAMK and to believe in us, and always know that if we need you, you're there. And, for everything you've done in the last, at least you've been part of CAMK, at least the last 8 years since I've been president and CEO, you always supported us and always came up with ideas how we can make things better. And just know that we welcome all that feedback and support going forward. And I hope that once we put the pandemic behind us in the months to come, we can go back out there and host events with you and bring our participants and interact with your employees and just make the community better for everyone.
Yeah, I look forward to everyone getting back together again. So we definitely want to have you back.
Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate. If you have any other final words before we move on to the next segment.
No, just, I guess, my admiration for this organization. I mean, there's not a weak leak here, obviously the facility is gorgeous and everything you guys have done there, to, the volunteers that we get up here, to the staff you guys bring in, to the leadership with you and Mike. I mean, everything here is top notch, and all working toward that one goal of inclusion and taking care of the campers in that community. And it's just awesome.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to you, to your family, to your employees, and to the wonderful work you do in our community. And now as we move into the next segment, before we have a conversation with our honorees for our Community Partnership Award, let's play this video. We try to work with all sorts of partners in the community and companies and institutions to come and help us as a partnership through service projects, through all sorts of meaningful partnerships and opportunities where we enhance the experience at CAMK. CAMK since the beginning has been providing opportunities for growth and improvement of independence. CAMK several years ago partnered with the Department of Workforce Services, Utah State Office of Rehabilitation, and we started a program called SWEET, Summer Work Exploration Experience Training. This partnership closes the circle for CAMK. This partnership makes CAMK be able to fulfill its potential and help us become a huge catalyst for independence for people with disabilities in our community.
So back in 2016, I approached Mircea and Mike at CAMK to help us with a job readiness program and summer work experience program. So we really wanted to find resources in our community to help our students prepare for the world of work. So in 2016, we created a job readiness class, and then students that participated in that were able to go to a work experience over the summer. The Summer Suite program at CAMK is our first step at work. So it really helps our students dip their toe in the water of work, where they can go, learn about work, learn about those soft skills, practice those work skills before a permanent job in the community later.
So the SWEET program, it's an amazing opportunity for teenagers with special needs to be able to learn job skills opportunity and have coaches while they are here at CAMK. What this program does gives them the opportunity to learn the job skills that they will be able to use for the future. So for many of them, actually, I would say 95% probably of them, this is their first job. They learn about clocking in, clocking out, learning about communication, professionalism in the workplace, being accountable. Those are great skills that they learn hands-on, and they will be able to take when they transition from school into the workforce.
I think I really enjoy this job, and I like it.
This is my first job, yes. My first real job.
It feels awesome. I really like working here.
We help them do what they need to do, like fixing, that's why.
I just filmed the kids today and having fun. Enjoy the kids' company.
It's kind of different because I've never had a job before, and I have to learn how to be independent and not depend on my mom all the time.
The thing that I enjoy most about hanging out with the campers is that I can actually kind of connect with some of them. I feel like I've learned more patience, and patience is just a good thing to learn.
I'm in the maintenance job, which basically keeps this camp in shape. We clean around, we weed, we water, we do all sorts of those kinds of things. So I finally have something to do during the summer, and it's very rewarding because I get to hang out with good people. So this is a great place to work.
I think good about having a job, you get paid money, first off, and second off, it's kind of fun how you get to play with the leaf blower and the weed whacker when you're like a ground maintenance type of person.
So our participants have really positive things to say about their summer work experience. Oftentimes they want to come back for a second year. They really like that supported work environment so they can practice those skills for later employment. I think they also appreciate that Camp K has a lot of other programs and services to offer also, and they can connect with Camp K as a community later on too. So I've always appreciated that Mircea and Mike at Camp K have been willing to think outside the box and try new things for our students. We've had lots of conversations about growing our program, and they've always been receptive to that thinking outside the box idea. I think that they are passionate about their individuals that they serve. You can tell every time we're with them how passionate they are about the people that they serve, and we appreciate that. So really, we're just all trying to move towards the same mission and help individuals experience work and hopefully later have paid work experiences in the community.
Thank you, USOR, Utah State Office of Rehabilitation, for your partnership with Camp K, and we look forward to building this partnership into the years to come into something bigger and stronger and more meaningful, so we can build an alumni network from here at Camp K. Thank you, and from all of us at Camp K, congratulations for receiving this wonderful and meaningful award. Thank you. Millions of people's working lives look very different to 20 months ago. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought significant change to workplaces around the world and accelerated many trends, particularly around technology. The question remains, though, how can businesses and employees prepare for what's coming next? It's important that in our recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic, we look to the future and not to the past. Skilling, reskilling, and upskilling are vital to this. We need to be aware that the skills that were appropriate 25 years ago, even 5 years ago, may not be appropriate now. Here at Camp K, we're very, very excited to close the circle with our summer work exploration experience training program that is in partnership with Utah State Office of Rehabilitation. And we're over the moon thrilled to continue this work with them and to honor them with our Community Partnership Award for this year. I have here with me Amy and I have Aaron, and I would like to, talk to both of them and see what they think of Camp K and where, the work we do and what can we do next.
Thank you, Mircea. We've been partnering with Camp K for I can't believe it's been 5 years, and over the last 5 years, we've really seen a lot of our students grow in their work skills and work experiences. We've had the pleasure of partnering for some job exploration classes and again, that summer work experience program. Camp K is such a beautiful facility, and it's so warm and inviting every time you're here, regardless of the season. I've been here multiple seasons, and you're always so warm and inviting to us, our staff, and then of course our students that we serve. So we appreciate that.
Thank you, Amy. Aaron, is it your first time up here, or you've been here before?
It's my first time up here, and it's a beautiful place, and I really appreciate this opportunity. Our mission, the Utah State Office of Rehabilitation, we've been around for 100 years, and our goal aligns with yours. We want to create meaningful experiences for people with disabilities. And in order to accomplish that, we need partners who care. We need partners that have the same mission and values. And that's why this program and working with USOR, it's a great success. As Amy was stating, the positive response from children and their parents, they're getting those experiences, they're getting excited, and they're really getting prepared for those next steps as they hopefully finish school and get started on their career path.
I really hope that, employers in our community, as we fully believe that people with disabilities, really change the environment for the better, will reach out to us and partner with us. And once they go through our trainings, they say, hey, can you be a pipeline for us, and hire him from here and grow this experience and do more in partnership with you. We do believe that a vital part of being fully independent, it really truly is earning a paycheck.
Employment is such an important part of who we are. It's a part of our identity. It's how we get a sense of self-worth, value, make connections, contribute to our community, and that's something that we want people with disabilities to experience. They have so much to give in terms of their value and the work that they can contribute to really diversifying the workforce. So getting those experiences, making that connection with employers, the talent is here. So it's really creating that pipeline for success. It's going to strengthen them, and it's going to strengthen their communities.
Thank you so much. We're really excited to take this into the future. The pandemic did probably put us back just a little bit, but this year we went right back in and we served many individuals, and we're excited for what the future brings. Any final message?
I would just say thank you to Camp K for partnering with us to provide these opportunities for our students. As I said, it's a great stepping stone for our students and moving them forward towards community employment, and we look forward to the next summer and opportunities to come.
Thank you, Amy. Aaron?
And I'll just add on, we really appreciate Camp K, the work that you're doing and your staff. It really is providing meaningful experiences for the common clients and kids that we're working with. And again, I'm looking forward to the future, all the great things that are going to come, and we really appreciate this recognition and hopefully a long, successful partnership together.
Congratulations, and thank you for believing in us and thinking that we can do this, and thank you very much. Now, as we move to the next segment, Governor Spencer Cox sent us a message to play here with us today to honor our event.
I'm so pleased to provide this message for this year's Camp K Virtual Gala event. The Costopolis Dream Foundation, home of Camp K, stands for diversity and inclusion. Camp K brings people together in their beautiful Immigration Canyon campus from different cultures, backgrounds, and abilities, and gives them the opportunity to learn and grow. For more than 50 years, Camp K has served our community through year-round educational programs, working to ensure that people with disabilities have an opportunity to live full, independent lives. By providing unique opportunities, students improve their physical fitness levels, learn healthy lifestyle skills, and enjoy their community through the arts, sports, and adaptive recreation. They teach social, life, and independence skills, as well as education and work skills. If a child enters their program at an early age, they will be more likely to live an independent life and to be fully integrated into the community. Camp K encourages them to stretch their imaginations and learn practical life and problem-solving skills, maximizing their potential for independence and building healthy bodies, minds, and spirits. Camp K is an environment that fosters the discovery of what makes us human and how we can be better people through compassion, empathy, and care for others. The benefits from their programs create a ripple effect, impacting not only the lives of their participants, but the lives of their families, friends, and ultimately, our entire community. They've created many successful public-private partnerships where they have partnered with federal, state, city, and local governmental agencies. One of their partners is the Utah State Office of Rehabilitation. Camp K provides vocational trainings and work experience programs through this partnership. I am pleased that Camp K's Community Partnership Award this year is presented to the Utah State Office of Rehabilitation. Congratulations! Camp K, as you can imagine, has been working around the clock to mitigate the situation created by the coronavirus. Camp K has stayed open during the pandemic to provide critical services for our families in our community and has been COVID-free since the beginning of the pandemic. Unfortunately, due to the outbreak of COVID-19, they've been unable to host regular fundraising events, which raise the support necessary for Camp K. I commend Camp K for their work, and I ask you to please support Camp K and the work they do for our community.
The one and only. I try to keep it up with him. Whenever he introduces me, he's got this excitement about it. I can't top that, but I'm introducing you today. I cannot thank Sean Reyes, Attorney General for the state of Utah, for his friendship, support, belief that he always had in me and my abilities, and joining our board as an advisory board member. And any time I had an issue or a problem, always answering his cell phone. He's a very busy man. He's always been there for us, and I want him to be a part of this event and share with us some hope and love for our participants and their families. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, what a great message from our Governor Spencer Cox. That was inspiring and moving. And it's awesome to be back with you, Ro. I mean, at least sort of face-to-face in tremendous event. I'm glad that you found a way to keep the momentum going. I do have to say for you, because I do usually get to introduce you, so it was a little turnabout. You have the heart of a warrior, and I think that everybody feels it. Maybe it's part of your Romanian heritage, such a noble, cool heritage. But that spirit of, achievement and dreaming of the possibilities, I think rubs off. And certainly for Mike and the rest of the staff and the team and everybody here at Camp K, we feel that. We can see the light that's emanating. This is a place of great miracles. It's a place of empowerment. In fact, sometimes you've asked me in the past, what one word embodies the Kostopoulos Dream Foundation, the programs, and what goes on here? And I've given you different ones in the past, but today I'm gonna focus on empowerment. I think that's really a great word to talk about the gift that you give to so many people and the gift that they give back, because seeing the growth for those of us like me who are blessed enough to be able to be part of your team and watch what you do and support your cause, it's really inspirational. And it's a gift back to us to be able to work with such amazing campers who similarly have warrior spirits. They have incredible hearts, and man, again, it's a privilege to be here with you, Mircea. So I don't know what you have in store. You always have something different, and I think the other guests, you prepare them, and you give them questions. I don't know. So I'm waiting to see what you've got. One time you offered to put me in a boxing ring with the former heavyweight champ, and I think I wisely declined, and you and Mike jumped in instead. Another evidence of your warrior spirits. Yeah, anything you need, all you have to do is call, because what you create and what you provide here for our state is a treasure.
Speechless, right? That's the word you said, empowerment. Thank you so much. Beautiful words. I can't thank you enough. We do get I get my warrior spirit filled up every day through the love of the participants and what they do for us. And And I can tell you that this pandemic has been hard for us at Camp K because, last year and this year, the energy at Camp K, it is our participants and our staff, and we have not been able to run at full capacity. But we're very, very hopeful the next year is going to be the year where we go right back into it.
Well, let me say this. Y'all running at even minimal capacity is far more output than I see from a lot of other entities. And so, don't feel bad. Everyone's dealing with those struggles. But what you've still been able to accomplish is amazing. I don't know even how long our segment is. So I've got like all kinds of cool stuff that I want to brag about and say.
We can stay here all day.
Yeah. We have some media guys, over there who are ready to jump in the seat and boot me off. Look, something that people don't realize or may not understand, and because I've been able to serve on the board and see up front closely, is the quality of the programs that are offered. And many others have talked about the specifics of the programs, and it was heartwarming to see parents of campers here who are leaders, who are really from all walks of life. And that's another thing that I love about it. It doesn't matter what your socioeconomic background is, your level of education. It doesn't matter who you are, what your last name is, what religious background is. None of that. Because when you come here, everyone is equally treated like the VIPs that they are. And it's awesome to see. But the point I was going to make, the quality of the programming is unsurpassed. And I've seen a lot of programs in our state and around the country for recreational therapy. You actually have recreational therapists, professionals who help you design the specific programs. They're evidence-based. These aren't things that you're doing willy-nilly, trying and experimenting. These are really credible programs that you expended a lot of resources to develop and hone and perfect, and the evidence is in the results. It's unbelievable to see. What I like is they're designed to foster independence, but they increase so many aspects of the camper's development, right? Their physical abilities, certainly, but also their confidence, life and social skills, their ability to communicate, to interact and socialize with each other. And it goes on and on and on and on. You truly empower them, and that's why I can't think of a better word. Empower them to live the fullest and most satisfying lives that they possibly can. And that's why I say it's like magic here. It's a place of miracles. And every time I come, I see a different facet, a different miracle, which again is really inspiring, man.
I really cannot thank you enough for saying that, because I hardly ever talk about it, and I think that is so powerful and so, important to talk about, because not all colleges in the United States have this program, but most countries around the world don't have it. So we're fortunate that University of Utah and some other schools here in the state and some in the country have this major, which is recreational therapy. We have 4 licensed recreational therapists on our leadership team, and they really do put a lot of detail into making sure that our participants don't just come to Camp K, but come to Camp K to help them grow. So it really means a lot for me that you brought that up. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and you're empowering them to be leaders themselves and then be able to give that gift to others throughout their entire lives. And look, I can also tell you, you give me one of those summer camps to talk about, just so powerful, or specialty camps, or the Voc Rehab. I can talk about any one of those programs all program long. But one thing that's also lost often, or not discussed enough, I think, when people are supporting you through their time and their resources, when they're making donations to Camp Christopolis, they want to know, hey, are these really these assets being deployed in the most responsible way? Well, interestingly enough, we've talked about this in the past. One of my jobs as Attorney General is to oversee charitable organizations, make sure that they're complying with the rules, make sure that they're, coloring within the lines, so to speak. And what astounded me when I first was introduced to you was, again, the level of care that you all here at Camp K use, and the longevity of, you know, the 4-star or 5-star ratings, the highest level ratings that you possibly can. You all make sure that you squeeze every penny that's donated to maximize it. And I've, unfortunately, in my position, see a number of nonprofits and NGOs that, you know, cut corners and that take liberties and unfortunately run into problems with the law. Some are out and out frauds, and we just all have to realize that there are people willing to take advantage of the goodness and generosity of this great state and its citizens. And then there are others that really are well-intentioned. I'd say the majority of the ones that I see really want to do good, but may not be equipped to do it. They may not have the expertise, the experience, the right team around them. And so, you know, I take my hat off to them for trying. But if you want to find an organization that not only is effective and is vetted and high impact and really, really makes a difference with the resources that are donated, you know, you don't have to look any further than Camp K. And that's one of the messages. That's why I love being on the board. There are other organizations that approach me and say, hey, would you serve on our board? Would you sit on our advisory board? And with all due respect, I say, I really love your energy, but I'm going to have to decline respectfully, because I'm not sure about everything that's going on here. And when you and I first spoke, I don't know how many years ago that was, it was like, hey, can I be on the board? You know, I'm asking you instead of y'all asking me, because it was just that impressive. So again, hats off to you, because that comes from top down, you know, leadership, but it also speaks to all of the participants and their families and how invested they are in making this work so well. So from my vantage point, as somebody who has to constantly be vigilant and watch and make sure that charitable organizations are doing what they say they're going to do, at least trying to do their best. This one, I never have to lose sleep about. Every organization has its, you know, challenges, but in terms of doing what you know, you set out to do and living up to your mission statement and your vision, really, this is a pleasure to serve on the board.
Thank you very much. I will stay humble to your words. I had some questions, but you basically answered almost all of them. But I do have a couple of them. How can we raise more awareness for people with disabilities and their families? And how can we make the world better and more inclusive for them?
Great questions, and I think many of my of the other participants answered that question across a number of different suggestions and ideas that they had. But some of it is just making sure that whenever we have programs, that whether government or business or personal, that we think about ways to incorporate leaders from the disability community, leaders who deal with folks with medical challenges and conditions. And I'll give you an example. Law enforcement hasn't always been very good at doing that. I think we try, and I think we're getting better. But a couple of years ago, we had an opportunity. We have at the state AG's office a really powerful tool. It's a virtual reality simulator, and we put law enforcement men and women through it every day, and we can simulate school shootings, we can simulate confrontations on the street or just everyday interactions, and try to train them to make sure that they only use force, and especially deadly force, if they absolutely have to protect others or protect themselves. And this is again a training tool that has helped propel Utah kind of to the top in terms of law enforcement training, to make sure that all colors, including communities of color and communities with the disability community, are well protected. we had some friends of ours say, well, why aren't you including the hearing impaired community? You have created all these modules for cultural competency to deal with people of different racial backgrounds and religious backgrounds. What about that? And I think we all sat around and said, wow, how did we miss that? And right away we dug in, leaned in, and we started to create parts of our training modules that would cover, something that people don't think about a lot, but if you're hearing impaired, you might be deathly afraid that a law enforcement officer will take deadly force or exercise deadly force because you can't respond to auditory commands, right? It's just something that many people take for granted, that interaction. Similarly, we recently created modules for kids on the spectrum. Why? Because law enforcement had some unfortunate incidents where they misinterpreted or misunderstood natural reactions, stimming or repetition of commands as being maybe belligerent or non-compliant, instead of just understanding that that was a normal way to interact. And so we've started to create these programs and work with members of the autism community, parents, experts, academics, and create modules which now empower our law enforcement officers to do better. Why am I talking about law enforcement and that? Because that's my experience, and I want to just use it as one tiny example of how I think everybody, whether it's your business,
very important. It's part of that comes into their life, just like in anybody else's life.
And make, someone said it, I think it was John. He said, see them, see us.
Right.
I mean, see, right. Recognize and start to. Yes, it's great to donate to Camp Costopolis. It's great to donate in services and time, but also be inspired by Camp K. And in your life, personally, with your family, whether it's a family vacation or a family home evening or some other family time, whether it's recreational or sports, think about ways to include, think about ways to incorporate, think about ways to make better the lives of those who are, who have disabilities as one of their challenges. And I think by consciously trying to do, if you start thinking about it, you will see opportunities just emerge right and left. And the examples we gave from law enforcement are because we started to try to be more purposeful and inclusive in our approach to what's this policy, what's this program, how is this going to impact the disability community, and let's get input, feedback, and try to be responsive and responsible to our brothers and sisters, all part of the same human family, and we all share in the same struggles, and so let's help lift them and find ways. I don't know if that answers your question, Mircea, but at least, and again, this is just off the top of my head. This isn't like those, some of those cool political questions that you get where you have staff that prepare, 20 pages of statistics for you. This is from the heart. It's top of mind, but I hope that maybe it resonates with people, CEOs, to parents.
I think everything, they're part of our communities. They're part of, our lives, and law enforcement is part of all of our lives. I think, what you just said right there is probably where everybody can do something about it, where, we all might have a neighbor, a friend, somebody that has a disability, and bring them into your environment.
Here's another one that just popped in because it was my younger kids. We have a family tradition, like many do during Thanksgiving time, turkey bowl, right? We go out and we have enough, fortunately, in our family to play against each other. And, one of my kids just pointed out, hey, why don't we have a friend of ours, their son, who has disabilities, physical disabilities, like, why don't we have him join us? And one of the other kids is like, well, how's he going to do that? Because this is, this gets pretty rough and rugged. He's a tough kid. He was so happy to join. And now he's actually part of the family tradition. And if he's not part of it, we don't even start the game. Our kids are going and making sure they find him from the, somewhere in the community and around. And then he comes and plays. And he plays on both teams, so we both get the benefit of his special abilities. And it's awesome, right? I mean, but it's kids thinking about just being a little bit more inclusive and maybe sensitive and looking around and saying, how do we make these friends of ours feel a little bit more accepted and invested? And I think from children, again, all the way up to boardrooms and congressional halls for policymaking, having that mentality really will help in the future create more programs like Camp K. Every state, every city needs an organization like Camp K, and I appreciate you asking the question.
Thank you so much. What a beautiful message from our Attorney General and Advisory Board member here for Camp Gustapolis, Sean Reyes. And now we're going to move to the next segment. And before we invite our guest, we're going to play a video with. We're starting a new tradition here at Camp Gustapolis, and we're going to honor somebody in our community that makes a difference in regards to raising awareness for people with disabilities, and it is called the Camp K Diversity and Inclusion Ambassador Award. Let's watch this video.
Organized chaos at Camp K. Dancing, laughing, singing, and shooting a music video.
You're doing great, guys. Keep going.
It never got old to do a story about different people. I mean, just because it's person one or person two, their stories they might have something in common, but their stories were all different. And their reaction to this place would just light you up. I mean, to ask them, hey, what do you think of Camp K? And they just light up. And you say, that's never getting old to sit and tell that story.
Don Hudson truly embraced our agency, and he felt for the participants, for the stories that they come out of that, for everything that Camp K stands for.
And of course, ABC4 has made a special effort to help put Camp K in the spotlight. Between June and December of last year, more than 20 stories about Camp Gustapolis aired on ABC4. ABC4's commitment to the community and to Camp K is indeed good for Utah.
This has all been like a learning process, being amazed, taking part in things like the Beauty and the Beast video, taking part in MCing, taking part in getting punched in the face by 6'5", 275 Riddick Bowe.
On Giving Tuesday, November 29, we will have a boxing gala.
It's a charity boxing match between Riddick Bowe and the so-called Camp Gustapolis Dream Team.
It will be a day you'll never forget, hanging out with Big Daddy. Come celebrate Giving Tuesday, we're going to have a ball.
Bowe is a two-time world heavyweight champion.
I'm still feeling that one. You know, it was all a pleasure and pain, I guess, in some ways.
Don Hudson, for the last 7 years or so, has been tremendously supportive of Camp K. He started with a story and then another story, and then he fell in love and got personally touched by what we do here at Camp K, by people with disabilities.
I think that's why you get into journalism. To say, hey, I want to be able to tell a story that makes a difference. I want to tell a story that informs, and I think telling Camp K's story and telling the stories about the people who use and come to Camp K and who love Camp K, from locally to people from England and other places that come over here, all those stories. I mean, it's been my pleasure to be involved with them.
Kate Thornton has a rare genetic disorder called Prader-Willi syndrome that affects every part of her life.
Okay. Yeah. Look at that swinging, how good you're doing.
But at this moment, right now, the 12-year-old's not focused on what she can't do. She's focused on what she can do.
I feel pretty good. Kind of like a really nice feeling.
Kate feels that way because she's at Camp Gustapolis with friends, parents, and others who understand.
When I think of diversity and inclusion, I don't know if I even put them all together all the time. I mean, you can have something say, oh, this is very diverse. And then there's inclusion is more of a, let's go put our arms around and make sure that we get everybody. I guess what I'm trying to say is it takes effort. You can bring it down to daily life. There's someone that can go up to the front of a store and can't get in because of their disability, or you can't just say, oh, the store's open for everyone. Well, not if someone doesn't hold the door for that person who can't open that door. You got to be willing to go out and help them.
The children here describe their time at MD Week in simple words.
Makes me happy and safe.
and they express their gratitude in ways that warm your heart.
It's super fun, and I'm happy whenever I get to go, and I never want to leave.
Getting this award is surprising to me. I mean, yeah, we did a lot of work, but it's an award I would share with a lot of other people. People like Ed who shot so many of these stories with me, the news director at the time, George, that allowed us to do it. I mean, he was so supportive of it. ABC4 as a whole for letting us do it. So I felt like I was just doing my job, and I wasn't even doing that. I was getting to come tell great stories. It's not really work, right?
Well, we worked on so many stories together. Congratulations. You are inspiring us to hopefully inspire others to raise people with disabilities into our community.
Well, first off, it's odd to be kind of on the other side of that. I'd rather be telling the story than being the story, that's for sure. I don't know, Merchant, you'll have to remind me. I get involved. I think getting involved with Camp K was, maybe I did something before that, but was it, I think people should know, Thurl Bailey was going to MC some event. Couldn't come.
That is exactly how you got involved with
saw
Camp K.
Thurl, you saw me, you said they look the same. Let's put Don out there. So it was actually a happy accident.
Pretty much.
Being very careful when I say that, but
exactly
anybody who
like
knows
that.
Thurl knows that's, he's a lot taller. That's, a lot taller than me. But anyway, it was a happy accident. And so then I get involved. And then right at the beginning, I mean, it's just like anything else. You're like, okay, I'm doing something, and you're moving on. And I will say, between you and Mike is over here, your brother, I can see him too, but you pushing for more stories. It was really Selena pushing for more stories. She was pushing and pushing. You need to come to Camp K. You need to come camp. You need to come over to my house for my birthday. You need to come. And it just kind of got between her and you. There was no escape. And so even if I didn't want to do it, I started doing it. And then it was great. I mean,
That's
I found
when you
out
stop answering the call or my text. I'm just kidding.
It's like, who is this? Who is this? No. Yeah, Selena wouldn't have that. She'd come over to the TV station. I don't know if she's watching, but she, in case, just give her due credit for being very persistent. But
she has.
She
loved working with you and being interviewed by you.
Yeah, well, it was fun to interview everyone. If I start mentioning names, I'll forget names. But I doing stories here like NF Week, and I do remember Nicole, and I think Courtney. Those two the people that both came from England.
Yes.
Talking to Ben. There was also a Ben from England as well, but Ben, who we know here, Selena,
Julian.
Susan, Julian,
From
Greg, and Greg, and playing the piano, and of course, Rusty. I hope Rusty's watching. Is Rusty watching?
So yeah, I hope.
Because Rusty and I, of course, starred in a video. The Beauty and the Beast video. I mean, I know Belle's in there and all that, but I mean, it's really Rusty and me that are the stars.
Yeah, you got over 1 million views.
Yeah,
on your video.
I tell people all the time. I said I have one video that has 1 million views. It had nothing to do with my career.
Yeah, that started your music career.
Oh,
I asked you a few interesting
no one
things.
is.
I say, hey, I want you to be Gaston in this Bell video we're doing at Camp K, and then I want you to also go in the ring with a 2 times heavyweight champion. How do you feel about those opportunities?
When you asked me to do the Beauty and the Beast thing, I thought you were just mouthing the audio, the real Gaston from the Disney thing. But then I had to sing it. That was at that time probably the scariest thing I'd ever done in my life. I would go back and do that 100 times before I get in the ring with Riddick Bowe again, though, because getting in the ring with Riddick Bowe and getting just punched just once, and then having Sheriff Winder trying to get us, I'll tell you what, I have a whole new respect for heavyweight champions. I mean, when I see those guys on TV, it's like, it's all fun and games when you're watching it, and then you get in there and you're like, I don't want anything to do with that guy. He is a big guy, and a long reach.
Yeah,
but
you retired the next day.
And I retired that night. I retired 2 seconds after that first bout. There will be no rematch, but it was all for Camp K, so it was worth it, I guess. Yeah.
Still there?
Still a little numb.
Okay. I felt mine for at least 2-3 months.
Yeah. I think Mike's the only one that, beat him.
He asked me, he knew he hit me.
Yeah.
And he looked at me, he's like, "Are you okay, man?"
I didn't get that. I didn't get the "Are you okay?" But You look at the video, it looks like he just love tapped me.
Yeah, the referee didn't even catch it. He was just encouraging. Come on, again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Winder. He needs
Sheriff Winder, yeah.
Somewhere along the line, he needs to get in the ring with somebody like that. Maybe Mike Tyson. Mike, if you're watching, we'd like to have a charity match. Mike Tyson, former Sheriff Jim Winder. 3 rounds. Cage match.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I really do miss you up here. And, you know, you helped us so much raise the voice of, you know, share the miracle at Camp K, you know, with the world and with our community. And you never stop being part of Camp K. Yeah. And we're very excited to keep you part of our family and work together, you know, for whatever other opportunities we can find in the future.
And hopefully there will be some in the future. I just, by the time, I mean, I started doing the stories just like anything else, and then I just started loving it and loving the people. And I remember one time we were coming here, I think the University of Utah Med helicopter was coming, and the photographer who was going to meet me that day couldn't make it because he had to go to a fire.
Right.
So I had just bought an HD camera, so I came, I had a tripod and a microphone. I went up the hill, I came and shot all the video. We still got it on the air, but it's again because I could have easily just said, hey, I'm turning around. I mean, and I got to have a photographer, but I wanted any opportunity that I could take. I wanted to get that message out, and I really felt that that's all I could do. And granted, without Ed Willett's help, without George Severson supporting us, without ABC4's support, I didn't really have, you know, a place to put that. But they allowed, every time we wanted to do a story, they allowed that to happen and just help give more legitimacy to Camp K, if you could say that, and to also help raise awareness and then raise funds. I mean, at least that was my goal, was just to put together a good, emotional, accurate story, and the behind that goal was to make sure that it helped Camp K.
You got hooked. You got the Camp K bug. How can we do that with more people?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think having videos and having stories is a big thing to continue to put that out. And I run into people that's surprising that have someone in their family with maybe a disability and haven't heard of it either. So it's amazing to me. I mean, I guess just like anything, you get too close to it, I guess. You say, how can you not know about Camp Costopolis and all the things that it has out there? So I think you have to just continue. I guess it's like these people with their social media followings, right? They just keep putting it out there and putting it out there, and people that catch on.
Well, so you just teed up for me for the next segment, and you will hopefully be a part of it in some ways and help us out to continue to raise awareness for what we do here at Camp K and for people that are different, that they stand out from others. So I started an initiative, been thinking for a long time, to launch a video podcast. And, you know, who else better you can start that video podcast with than, you know, our ambassadors from Camp K. We have 6 to date. So I sat down with all our 6 ambassadors from, you know, let me get them in order, Selena, Greg, Sarah, Ben, Chrissy, and then Christian today. And amazing insight in this videos. And we have a teaser here, you know, a short teaser just to give you a taste of what's coming. And I want you to help us with that. And congratulations. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us. Let's watch this video. Our society is built on ideas. You either choose to participate and contribute your own ideas to creating a better society, or you will simply end up living in a world built on someone else's ideas. No matter how broad your horizons, no matter how big your playground, there's always a bigger world out there waiting to be discovered and to challenge your perceptions. The show is about challenging your perceptions, overcoming challenges, finding motivation, inspiration, and purpose in life. Purpose transcends between the seen and the unseen. Purpose is a vital element of life, a vital element of you. It is the reason you are here now on this particular time in history. My name is Mircea Devrishin, and my mission is simple: to shine a light onto the lives of those who stand apart from others. What does it mean for you to be a CAMK ambassador?
It means breaking the stigma, really. Like I said, this ambassadorship program has really, started breaking the stigma and breaking down walls around what a person with a disability is and who they can be. And this has given me a place of belonging and for people to finally see that we are human too, and that we matter, and that we can contribute to society, and that we have the same thoughts and feelings as everybody else.
What holds you back from doing the things that you want to do?
I got very loyal parents.
Yes, that's good.
My parents are the ones that's sometimes holding me back. Sometimes.
Yes. Well, that happens because parents, they want the best for you, and sometimes they don't want anything bad to happen. But unfortunately, we got to go through our own experiences on our own.
Bad things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really about learning. It's about learning through that natural consequences, or the experience of being a preschooler, making choices.
That's right.
You have to experience that negative to learn from them.
Yes.
To learn from your mistakes.
We sometimes probably learn more from our mistakes and from bad experiences than we do from good experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure your parents know that, but they still are your parents and they love you very much and they want the best for you, and that's a challenge for a parent just as much it is for a child.
I think this health pandemic thing is not so much with the kids, but
yes.
mostly for the adults of shielding the kids.
Yes. So Sarah, this is a very important question. If you could rule the world for one day, what would you do?
If I could rule the world, I would help people with disabilities to become more independent and participate in activities like Camp K, have a great experience and get a job and have a paycheck.
Let's talk about judgment towards people with disabilities then. Since you accepted that, but how do you feel about people judging people with disabilities a certain way?
Honestly, it really, really bugs me, and I've been wanting to say something about it for years and make a little bit bigger deal out of it, because it's not fair to us. It's not fair. We didn't choose to be this way. Most of us still struggle wanting to be the way we are. A lot of us are still thinking, why me? Why make me the way I am and everybody else different and normal? Why choose me to be different? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to be useful to this world? And then you have those that beat you down and say, oh, you're in a wheelchair, you can't help yourself, you can't do anything for yourself, you're gonna fail in life. It doesn't help, and it makes things really difficult.
If you could go out to dinner to anybody in this world, who would you go out to dinner with?
With one of my favorite celebrity idols.
Who is it?
Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr.
Those are two people.
Yeah, two.
Okay, you take them both out to dinner, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Because I want to ask my question about the movies, what they did, and how long they know each other, and how they are good people, and they are really amazing characters.
Okay, why? So both of them play different characters. What is Chris Evans and what does Robert Downey Jr. play?
They played Tony Stark, and he is a technology genius, a billionaire, and Chris Evans is he's really tall and he's cool and he can do anything.
What's his role?
He plays Steve Rogers.
I see. Is he Captain America?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, all right.
I'm just a fan to them.
Okay. I can see you just lit up.
Yeah.
Of the prospect of going out to dinner with them.
To hang out with them.
That would be fun, huh?
Yeah, that would be fun.
Okay. What did you want to be when you were small?
I wanted to be a race car driver or a football kicker. And it came from me while I was playing video games for football and NASCAR. I just loved the adrenaline feeling of being able to drive in a race car or see race car driving or playing football and being able to win.
I hope you found inspiration here with us today. Let's change the world together. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel and be the change you want to see in the world. We rise by lifting others. So this is the exciting part about the future of CAMK. What are we planning to do next? And where do we want to take CAMK next? And before I have a conversation with my next guests, I want to play another video. Let's play this video. For over half a century, Camp Costopolis has been opening a world of opportunities for people of all abilities. Our beautiful campus is located in Immigration Canyon. Over time, we have built many facilities to give our participants the opportunity to fully enjoy the great outdoors. We have a fish pond, have our playground, we have our pavilions, fire pit areas, we have our sports court, and then our picnic field where many moments of joy and laughter are being shared, where they play games or sports or water games and have the opportunity to enjoy this beautiful campus. We got our lodge, many yurts that serve as classrooms for us here at Camp Costopolis. We have our cabins, and then we got our swimming pool and open horse corral, the equestrian center, and the ropes course. We got many projects that we're working on right now to improve the quality of service and quality of life for the participants we serve. We're working right now to build a brand new restroom at the lower part of Camp Costopolis. That's going to be a tremendous addition for Camp K. A lot of our participants spent their time down there, either on the picnic field, playing games, at the sports court, playing different sports games, maybe going fishing at the fish pond, or at the pavilion, serving meals or doing all sorts of games. So a lot of the time is spent down there, yet we didn't have a restroom. So people with low mobilities would have to come to lodge. Now this addition is going to be tremendous for Camp K in future years. In regards to expanding facilities, we would like to see a brand new lodge at Camp K. Plans have been drawn and put together. Phenomenal building. If we can put this together for our participants here at Camp Costopolis, we're very excited for it. For the last 5 years, we've been working very hard from engineering to planning to designing and permitting and now building what will be the safest, the most beautiful and elegant cabin at Camp Costopolis. This project came together through a partnership with the Salt Lake Home Builders Association, who approached us and said, we want to build something meaningful and do a project for you at Camp K. And we decided that as Camp K needs to expand, a new cabin would make a lot of sense for us to work with them to build and put together. This cabin will truly be one of the safest buildings in Immigration Canyon. It's state-of-the-art and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's got 4 independent bedrooms and individual bathrooms and a gorgeous living room with a fireplace. The Home Builder Association have worked with us over time to dedicate and donate and work together with us to build this beautiful cabin, and we're very, very close to finishing. We're hoping for a Christmas miracle and having finished before the end of the year. The Home Builder Association has worked very hard to find all the resources necessary to complete and build this cabin. However, there were some areas where we fell short in finding those resources. That's where our long-term supporters, Joe and Kathleen Sorensen, came in to help us out. As we embark onto the next chapter here at Camp Costopolis, we ask you to consider making a donation, large or small, and help us bring this dream into reality to create amazing experiences and memories to last a lifetime for our participants. Thank you so much. And here with us today, the people that will help us bring this Christmas miracle to life. I got no pressure. I got Jason, Kristen, and then Brandon. Thank you so much to everyone that has been a part of this project. It has been a long project, but we're getting very close, and we know that next year our participants and our staff will be able to enjoy it here at Camp K. So we started 5-6 years ago from an idea. We moved into design and planning, engineering, permitting, and now we're breaking ground. Even better, who are the people that we should be thanking for that have helped from the beginning to now on this project?
You know, Mircha, there's been so many people that have helped, and you're right, it's been a long time getting this off the ground. And I know that you've been patient doing this, and you know, the pandemic, as much as it's been a distraction for everybody, for Camp K, it was kind of a blessing. Being the chair of the committee that was overseeing this, we hadn't had the opportunity to get done what we wanted to get done. And when the pandemic hit, all the projects that we had for that year, smaller projects, nothing the scale of what we're doing up here, were put on hold because nobody wanted you. Everybody was quarantining and staying separated. So with some help from some of the members of the association, Hamlet Homes stepped up to start the underground and get us going. And they committed to Barry Glittleman with his team at Hamlet committed to getting us to the framing stage. Once we got to the framing stage, me with Brandon and a group of others were able to get Mike Williams and Artistic Builders to come in and get the project framed. And I think it took about a week. It was about a week. After we got to that stage, we got the roof on. Jay Irwin, is it Greenridge? Yep. Greenridge Homes helped with the roof. Got the roof on. Once we got to the roof, it kind of slowed down a little bit, with business not slowing down for the contractors and the Salt Lake HBA, and really everybody having to ramp up. We thought the pandemic was going to slow everything down on the construction side of things. It made it hard to get people. Just to get people to show up because everybody was so busy, so short-staffed. COVID had taken its toll on people, being sick and not being able to get together and work together. So we took it seemed like a forever hiatus, but it wasn't that long. And I know you were antsy, and getting others up here took a little bit of time. Our next step was with Brian Rentmeister and his company to get the electrical. So we started with our trades, and the trades started coming in. And Brian, who is actually this year's committee chair, has been very supportive and helpful on anything that he could do, to keep things moving. We got Delta Vince I can't, do you remember Vince's last name?
Yeah, I worked with Vince
Yes.
because we're sheetrocking right now, and I was in contact with him. I was in contact with him for the last couple of days.
Vince Newberg.
So
Yes,
we can
Vince
get
Newberg.
that one wrapped up.
So Vince and Delta, Brandon and I went in and, you know, I basically plopped myself on the ground and told them I wouldn't leave until they helped us. Not really, but I felt like it had come to that because it was hard getting, you know, getting the support that we needed. And they stepped up in such a huge way to help without really knowing. They didn't know me from Adam, and they said, let's see what we can do. And the rest of the story is history. I mean, you know how much of a crucial part that's played in getting us to this point. So,
and then we went to passing the four-way, and then Sampro and the two of you help us get installation done in one day. Last week.
Yeah, last week we got insulation done.
And then now we're finishing this week the sheetrock.
Yep, Rob Miller with Symphony Homes has stepped up with the sheetrock and the labor for the sheetrock. I mean, it's just been what we've been able to get done really in the last 18 months has been huge. It really has, because the planning process and are we going to do it? Are we not going to do it? Going to board meetings and
how many email chains do we have between the four of us and some other people?
Probably like 4 different, at least text message threads, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I have to be careful because I don't know. I mean, sometimes I'm responding to somebody and I get it on the wrong thread. And they're going, what are you talking about? Oh, hey, sorry, you weren't supposed to see that. Disregard it.
And then the Salt Lake County inspector. However, everybody has been, you know, recently very. I was up in the cabin yesterday because the sheetrock is going up, almost finished, and I realized, hey, you know, we got this wires hanging from Delta Fire for the fire system, and it's like the panel's not up here, so I got to take a picture, send it to Vince, and Vince is like, I'm gonna get somebody there right away. You guys are really moving things along.
That's been the really interesting thing is just the last few weeks. We've been able to get done almost more than months at a time before that.
We have.
Yeah.
It's really been amazing. Kristen's been amazing helping get on the interior side of things. Brandon and I went down to the cabin before we came up here because I wanted to see
it's almost done.
The transformation. And
it's huge.
I've been in this business for a long time, since I was a kid. And I love every stage of construction, and the framing stage, the smell of the framing stage, it's awesome. And then you get to the next stage where you're going to insulation, and you go in and insulation's done, and there's a feeling for every stage that you get to. And today we walked in for drywall, and it was so transformational because it's not the same building. I mean, you walk in there, and you had to be excited too when you walked in there.
I think just like everything else in life, you know, you get excited in the beginning, and then you start, and then it's hard, and then maybe, you know, somebody else comes about, and you get excited again, and then it's still hard. Then eventually, you know, maybe 2 or 3 people come together, and then we all get excited, and then, you know, things really start happening because the energy goes up. Kristen, what's next?
We are, luckily, Jason hurdled one of our biggest hurdles this week with siding, and we were able to get some rock. This cabin is going to be so beautiful. I'm so excited to see it. And, you know, I actually was able to contact everybody that was working on the interior this week and tell them, we're going to move all of our things from January, February to I need it in 2 weeks. But the cool thing about this is everybody has been so excited about seeing this finished and having campers in here next year and everything, that everybody is on board. And I actually, we were having a little bit of some issues getting labor for this rock that's going to be going on the outside. And I contacted a group of the women that we worked with on the house that she built. And, you know, you're going to see a bunch of Carhartted women up here in the next 2 weeks, probably with snow, mortaring and putting on
no snow.
stone.
No snow. We're
Sorry,
looking for
no
a Christmas
snow.
miracle. Yes.
No snow. We got to get the siding and stuff up first. But yeah, there's no stopping this train. We're full speed ahead, and as fast as we can get it done. I'd like to see a Christmas
I
tree
just
in
can't thank you guys enough, because, you know, I was talking to Brian maybe 2 months ago on the phone, and and then I talked to him again, and I said, Brian, are we going to move on this? Is this going to ever happen? Will you have a deadline for me? And he said, I don't. And then you came together, and then look where we are today. So thank you so much to all of you and all of those that are helping us in getting to know CAMK, getting to know the leadership, the facilities, the programs, the people we serve, what we do, seeing what you've seen today. What is your opinion about, what's your overall impression of CAMK and working with us?
I'm humbled over it and happy that I have some skills that I can provide to help people. I've always wanted to be able to help people in life, and so to be able to do it, and the leadership and what you and Mike bring to this it's amazing, and I think I'll be a part of this place for a long time.
That makes me feel very, very happy and very humble to those words. This cabin, as you know, obviously will have a huge impact at CAMK and to the lives of those we serve. It is the most beautiful, the most elegant, the safest. You guys built residential homes, and the inspector made you build a commercial building in many different ways.
Do you want me to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah.
So when I, and this is going to sound bad, but when I took the committee chair position, I let Adam know. I said, Adam, I'll take the committee chair position, but where we sit at Camp K, I do not want this falling on my shoulders. And the pandemic hit, and guess what we're going to do? We are going to hammer through Camp K. So we did that, and each step of the way, it's like, who drew these plans? Why is there so much safety on this? Because it's a smaller residential unit. Even Brandon, he's like, did you see what we have to do? Did you see there has to be sprinklers? Did you see that we've got to do exterior fire rock on the outside of the building? And I thought, no, I didn't see that.
Fire breaks, double sheetrock, special siding.
At first glance at the plans, it looks, that's a pretty easy set of plans, and then you take a minute and really start looking at the details, and I'm like, oh man, yeah, but the whole canyon can burn down. That cabin will still be standing.
We have a fire up there.
Not that we want that to happen. But.
Get in there, and everybody's going to be safe in there because it's.
So knowing that we're going to get this finished, and knowing everything that this will contribute to for our community, how do you guys feel? And you can take this question one by one, because maybe each of you has a different answer for that.
I'm super, super humbled, like Brandon said. I mean, it is to be able to. It's always fun. It's always fun to serve. And when I first started on this, it was just, I've got a year, get done. I'll have it out of my hair, and I haven't got to spend time with the campers. I've got to spend a lot of time with you now. I would love to spend some time with the kids, and I'd love to bring my boys up here and do that, and just to see what a difference your time makes. Being able to help, and it's been awesome.
Thank you.
I don't know if you remember Mircha, but I actually was one of the first people that walked the camp with Stephen Daly and the rest of the crew before we started this, when it was just a concept. And just even the idea of this place is so special that thinking that we can fit another 300 odd some kids through here, I mean, you're one of a kind. It's so important to make sure as many people get exposed to what the programs you have available, the feeling that's here. I've heard inclusion and diversity mentioned quite a few times during this cast, and that is exactly what is needed and exactly what we need to bring. I was actually over in the corner texting our committee going, okay, we need to come up here and teach them how to do this and do this with them. And this may be a project that lasted the last 5 years, but it's not going to be the end of what our inclusion in this camp will be. You have lifers.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And that goes to the last question for you guys is it is hard for people to understand CAMK until they come and become part of CAMK. How do we get more people encouraged to be part of CAMK and help support service projects?
For me, it's I really think that everybody that's involved with it up to this point, and it's been up here working on it, would tell you the same thing, that they're more than happy to help to come up and do it. And being able to be involved with the kids and actually seeing the kids would, seeing Christian and listen to him earlier was, I mean, it warms your heart. It really does. And it makes you want to do more. So I just think us getting the word out there more, the HBA and the members there, I know have been wanting to participate more. It's hard. Everybody gets busy, but once you break free and you're able to spend some time up here, it makes it worth it. It really does.
Thank you. I look forward to the 7:00 a.m. text messages. Hey, I got some good news. Hey, what's happening?
Do we need to drain the water lines?
Right.
Your siding will be here tomorrow.
And yes, and we ran out of sheetrock. We got done about 90%, and we ran out of it, so I had to cancel the inspection yesterday and then reschedule it for Monday again because they're coming tomorrow and Saturday to finish it up. So amazing altogether. Really can't thank you guys enough. I really look forward to having hopefully a Christmas party up in the cabin with your group, and then a dedication in the spring when everybody can come and see the beautiful cabin and inspire others to help us here at CAMK, because the rest of the cabins have been built in the 70s and certainly they're outdated. So we want more people to come be part of CAMK and help us out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, before we go into the next segment here, I would like to have you guys watch a video. There is another project we're working on CAMK as we speak with another group, and I think I mentioned it to you, but let's watch this video. My name is Mircea Devrishin, and I'm the president and CEO of the Kostopoulos Dream Foundation, home of CAMK, and I welcome you into my office. Since 1950s, CAMK has enriched the lives of people with special needs and disabilities through growth opportunities, education, and sports, teaching them the skills and providing them the tools they need to live full, independent, successful, and meaningful lives. In our ever-changing and ever-complicated world, we know overcoming challenges has become the most important skill anyone needs to build in order to succeed in life. When the roots are deep, there's no reason to fear the wind. We know storms come, therefore preparation is key. At CAMK, we teach valuable skills important to succeed in life, including self-confidence, self-control, persistence, flexibility, adaptability, curiosity, initiative, communication, and collaboration. What really gets me excited is when our participants experience delight at CAMK. I don't think there are all that many things where you really experience delight. And if you can make the experience great enough that it far exceeds people's expectations, I think that's amazing. CAMK has grown to become an industry leader and an innovator. At CAMK, we want to unleash, uncover, discover, and ignite our participants' personalities and greatest abilities. When life challenges become limitations, we want to provide experiences that inspires our participants to achieve greatness. We have built a world-class resort. We hire amazing role models in order to give our participants memories that last a lifetime. Today, we're launching a new project here at CAMK in order to enhance and expand our participants' experiences. We will build an outdoor water park. Water is timeless. It has a universal appeal. It transcends cultures and generations and appeals to all age groups. Water draws people in and brings people together. It unites people in a shared sensorial experience that is at once refreshing, relaxing, thrilling, and exciting. We have been working with our designers, engineers, and builders to design meaningful play experiences and to best capture the psychology behind water play. Something special happens when water is added to play. Think of a moment about what it sounds like when children are playing in water. Screams of joy. It's unique to water play environments. Aside from the fun, when water is added to play, we see enhanced physical development opportunities that help foster the gross and fine motor skills essential to healthy physical development. Water playscapes encourage gross motor movements such as running, dodging, standing under, jumping over, jumping in, while interactive water features like pumps, movable cannons, floating objects stimulate the development of fine motor skills. The sensory aspects of water also help users understand the physical connection between water and our bodies through sensorial experiences. This new addition to our facilities will create amazing experiences for our participants. It will be placed right here on top of the mountain with beautiful 360 degrees surrounding landscapes. We'll continue to work hard for our community and for our participants and their families to provide them with unique and exclusive experiences. As we embark on this new building project, the new water park at Camp K, we ask you to consider making a donation to Camp K, large or small, to help us build this facility. I would like to thank the families of our participants for entrusting us with those most precious in their lives. And I will also like to thank you, every single one of our supporters, donors, and volunteers for continuing to believe in us and for continuing to support our mission of opening a world of opportunities for people of all abilities. Thank you. As they say, save the best for last. We're moving into the last segment here, and I am overly thrilled to have this conversation live because it will be with someone who filled up my shoes quite a while back, and he understands the pains of running Camp Kostopoulos, but also the joy of running Camp Kostopoulos. So before we have this conversation with my last and final guest for today, let's watch another message we received from another big fan of Camp K, and we can't thank him enough for the message that he sent over to us. University of Utah football head coach Kyle Whittingham.
Hello, my fellow Camp Kostopoulos friends. This is Coach Whittingham, the University of Utah. I've been aware of Camp Kostopoulos ever since I came up here on the hill and started working with the football program. Great organization, great cause, and squarely behind it. I'm honored to be here with you today, to be a part of Camp K and to support its mission, programs, and services, and most importantly, the people Camp K serves. Very similar to our athletics department, which seeks to provide the means for all student athletes to reach their full potential academically and athletically, while also becoming positive contributors to society. Camp Kostopoulos, since the 1950s, has supported people with disabilities in our community through growth opportunities, education, and sports. Camp K teaches them the skills and gives them the tools necessary to live full, independent, and successful lives, to be fully integrated into our community, and to become active contributors to our society. Our own Chris Hill, the former University of Utah athletics director, shared with me that before coming to the University of Utah, he was the executive director of Camp K. Recently, after many, many years, he has visited Camp K, and he was so impressed with where Camp K is today compared to where Camp K was back when he was a part of it. He shared with me that touring Camp K and meeting the CEO and the leadership team was very revealing. He told me that Camp K is in great hands. They have a tremendous vision for where they want to go next, and Chris will help them accomplish that vision. I will join Chris and fully support Camp K in accomplishing their vision, because if Camp K succeeds, our whole community wins, as the benefits from their programs create a ripple effect. impacting not only the lives of those attending Camp K programs, but the lives of their families, friends, and ultimately our entire community. For more than 70 years, Kostopoulos Dream Foundation has served our community through year-round educational programs. They are dedicated to improving the quality of life for people of all abilities through their programs. Their services are available to people of all abilities, all ages, levels of income, and place of residence. There is a lot in common between our work here at the University of Utah and Camp K. The athletics department supports the university's objective of creating an inclusive community that is enriched by the life experiences and backgrounds of a diverse and excellent staff and students. Very similar to Camp K, stands for diversity and inclusion as well. Camp K brings together people in their beautiful Immigration Canyon campus from different cultures, backgrounds, and abilities, and gives them the opportunity to learn and grow in understanding our world. And please join me and support Camp K. There are several opportunities for our community to help make an impact at Camp K. Making a monetary donation or becoming a sponsor, getting your employer involved with Camp K through sponsorship and service projects, spreading the word about their mission and programs, and following and sharing their social media platforms. Your gift in any amount will make a positive impact in someone's life in our community. Without your support, Camp Kostopoulos would not be what it is today, an environment to foster the discovery of what makes us human and better people through compassion, empathy, and care for others. I look forward to seeing the great work Camp K will continue to do for our community. I commend Camp K's leadership team for their hard work, passion, and dedication, and I ask you to please join me and support Camp K and the work they do for our community. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to present this message and wish you all the best. Go Utes!
So the last very special guest for me here today to share this event is Chris Hill. Everybody knows you as the athletic directors for University of Utah, and very few people know that you were the executive director at Camp K. You wore my shoes a while back. Tell me about Camp K when you were in charge.
I was so young leading it that I wasn't really quite sure what I was doing, but I had a passion for this. My wife taught special ed all her life in the public schools and in college, and so we kind of got involved in that, and I got out of athletics. But, the joy was similar. I was listening to other folks, and, what are the good things? What do you remember? And I remember Mondays in the summer and driving my car up here, and it was just electric. Parents and, some of the kids didn't have parents who could drive them up, but the parents were excited to be away from their kids for a week. They also, everybody was interacting and nervous and everything. So it was always kind of a joy to see that energy, because very few people can, especially administrators, because we're out trying to raise money and doing other things, and still see your project, which is really cool. On the flip side of it, there were probably one of the toughest things I've ever done in my professional life is having to tell somebody that they couldn't make it. We didn't have enough of the resources or the facilities to make it happen. So for me, it's great to see this thing growing and being able to provide more services for people, because, I was frustrated. I thought, boy, if we just raise a little more money, we could do this, we could do that. And, the world is your oyster. So it was kind of probably the most difficult decisions, or sometimes telling a parent, I'm sorry, we can't get you in this week, so. But anyway, a lot of good memories, a lot of good places.
Is there a certain memory maybe with a camper, a family, a participant, something from Camp K that stands out to you?
Well, we had a fundraiser once, and it was called Send a Kid to Camp. And Jake Garn was the senator there, and that's the year he went out in space. And we had Joni Mitchell and Billy Nicholson greet him. They were our stars. They had people with disabilities, and they did such a great job. I knew we had them in the palm of our hands after they said hello to them, because Billy and Joni were just personality plus, and the people came in here, and that was a fun just to see the interaction for all these business folks that came up here to help, and to see how they reacted to their greeters.
So we gave you a full tour. like a month ago or so, and you got to see where we are, all these projects we're building, and where we're trying to take Camp K. What's your impression of Camp K today?
Well, I think of all the things I was driving up here, and I thought the equestrian program was always real important. We didn't really have an equestrian program. We had a couple old horses that we had people on, but I went up to the equestrian center and I went, woo, oh my gosh. Just a professionally done, wonderful part of the program, but also now it has a facility that really, I'd be hard to find other places like this that have that kind of operation and such an important service to the campers and people that come up here. And I did happen to go through, you took me through the new building they're building, and that was another wow. So I was really impressed with that. It was nostalgic, but it was just so good to see it in such a first-class way, certain things that have improved so much.
This is a question, just thought of it right now. As a CEO, you come in and when you leave, you want to leave it better, but you want to make sure that somehow your legacy continues. Sometimes whatever work you've done, that place doesn't go under. This pandemic has been difficult. How do you feel seeing that your work has continued here at Camp K?
Well, it's our work, first of all. A lot of people on our board. I had great staff we work with, and I've watched it over the years. Haven't had time, and I didn't want to get in the way of somebody. But things are in good hands. The education of the people involved, and it's just a really good feeling. And I think that's something that we're real proud that when we started, we had these folks that kept that energy, and through your leadership and elbow, there's been a humble approach and a wonderful approach to making sure those folks are first, not you and me and people like us.
We also talked about the 10-year strategic plan. You have certain donors that reached out to you that they want you to be a part of, their decision and contributing to Camp K. And I introduced you to everything that we want to accomplish here at Camp K and where we want to take Camp K next. What is your opinion of that?
I think it's great. I was somewhat overwhelmed by the breadth of the program, number of folks from here and around or whatever. But, I looked at your plans for the new lodge area. I mean, this building brings back nice memories, but man, it's got to go. It's got to go. I don't know how many years it's been here, but I walked in and said, oh, wow. But the new area you're looking at, the lodge, I think we're calling it, and a medical area and just a big gymnasium to have things happen in the winter, with folks in the wheelchairs and everything. I mean, it's going to include a lot of other things, but I was impressed that those two areas are so important to have safety and have something indoors that folks can do in a big area. So I'm really excited about it. I think that's going to be huge for the growth and development of the program.
Awesome. Well, I'm very excited for that. So I'm very excited that you're back into Camp K, and we're going to work together to take it to the next level and the next stage for our community. You had to fundraise when you were in my shoes, and it's difficult. How do you think we're going to be able to inspire people to help us here to do what we need to do?
You got to reach out. You can do a lot of publicity things and stuff like that, but and let's be honest, to get to there's a level of whatever donation, and some are really geared towards just helping to get enough kids here, and some you need some major donations for a facility. I think it's by word of mouth, by meeting people. You do everything, but I think it's important to have enough people in the community that like somebody like me, that when it comes up, I can talk, and all of a sudden the light goes on with somebody, and you never know. I said it's like fishing in a pond. You want to keep fishing, and you want to be fishing in the right pond, and Salt Lake City and the state of Utah is the right pond. So I think it's really can't be too passive. It has to be tactfully aggressive, but it's more like giving somebody an opportunity to be part of it. It's not, you're talking to people that are generous. You hope that they'll see a part of it, and they want to be on the team. And I think that's where folks will be excited to see what they have and be part of the team.
It's all personal.
Yeah, it is. It's all about meeting people and doing it and having a passion for it, and like I said, you don't trick people. Everybody thinks fundraisers are tricking people. I'm going to come in and get money. No, you're not. You're going to explain your program, educate them, and let them see if they want to have the opportunity to be a part of the team. And, you know, the Camp K's, it's great fundraising, but as I talked to you when we were up here, I said it was the hardest fundraiser I ever did, because you think the whole world should want to contribute. Anybody would want to give to Camp K. How could they not? You know, and so, you know, in a place like the Symphony or Athletics, you have a ticket sale, but here you got the whole world, you know, and it's really hard. But you don't trick them. You don't take people who have money and trick them into giving you money. What you do is give them an opportunity. And at Camp K, you know, you say, what's my quid pro quo? Well, that's what do I get for what I give? That's not here. Here is what you get. You get the satisfaction of knowing you did something really special. And you get a good pat on the back and a handshake, and that's all you need.
I could have not said it any better. There's many needs in the community, but Camp K is special. Camp K is different. And our population, they don't have a voice. We need to be their voice. And all we can do is keep fishing in the pond and keep telling people who we are and what we do, and give them an opportunity to be a part of Camp K. And then it's up to them at the end of the day.
It really is. It's up to them, and it's up to all of us to make sure that we let people know we're proud of this program and part of it. And it has a legacy, not with me, but before me, and it stood the test of time. So when something stands the test of time like that, it says a lot. It says a lot. It means it's a valuable place and a good place. You are good stewards of their money, I can tell you that.
Thank you so much. A final message from Camp K. I could have not said it any better. That's why I said save the best for last, because you understand my job, my world, and it is, for as beautiful as it is very difficult. So a final message from Camp K. We're closing the event here in a minute. What do you want people to leave today with?
I want them to really take a hard look at what this and share the message with others, person by person by person, you know. And I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed watching the progress. Makes you feel good, you know, that you have such a breadth of the program and the vision and the energy. You know, you're not punching in and punching out. You're getting after it every single day. And that's with the people that come help. And I'm very impressed with the care you're taking with the whole medical area and making sure safe, because it is more and more as we go on, you're going to have more and more people that have more issues to deal with with their disabilities, and you need more people to do it. And you got a lot of people that want to care. So for me, I want to thank you, and I want to thank the good work of what people do here in the foundation. And it was a wonderful opportunity for me. I learned so much, and in those 4 years, it was pretty spectacular experience.
Thank you so much. This has been quite a day for all of us here at Camp K. Wonderful opportunities to shine a light onto the lives of those that we serve. And I would really like everybody to consider Camp K in their giving. Consider Camp K when they get their employer potentially involved with Camp K through service projects, sponsoring event, making a donation, a contribution. And, you know, the most important, easy thing to do to help Camp K in today's world, this what we talked earlier today, is to like, to share, to follow our social media platforms and help us spread the word and the magic of Camp K. And my final message to you today is, don't be afraid to give yourself everything you ever wanted in life. Thank you.